Something remarkable has been quietly unfolding in England's Test cricket, and it centers on one man, Zak Crawley. Few understood the full implications of his presence at the crease until his performances began to rewrite expectations for modern batsmanship. Crawley is not just another young talent, he is a symbol of the future, a player whose combination of technique, temperament, and fearless intent suggests a new era for England's Test team. What you are about to witness is not merely a series of innings, but a demonstration of how one batter can redefine how patience, power, and timing intersect in the longest format. Crawley does not simply respond to conditions, he imposes his own rhythm, forcing bowlers into early errors and dictating the flow of matches. His journey shows why adaptability, preparation, and the courage to play expansively are as critical as traditional defensive skill. Understanding Crawley is understanding why Test cricket's future may be less about surviving and more about confidently shaping the game from the first session to the last. To understand Zak Crawley's emergence as a defining figure in Test cricket, it is essential to examine both his technique and his mindset. From his early days in county cricket, Crawley displayed an unusual combination of classical technique and fearless ambition. Unlike many young batsmen who either overdefend or rely purely on power, Crawley balances patience with precision and intent with awareness. This duality allows him to navigate challenging conditions while still dictating the pace of an innings. Crawley's journey has not been without challenges. Early in his career, critics questioned whether his aggressive instincts could survive the pressures of international Test cricket. They argued that his expansive style might leave him vulnerable against disciplined attacks on bouncy or spinning tracks. Yet, Crawley has consistently shown the ability to adapt without compromising his natural game. He reads bowlers, adjusts to pitch conditions, and times his innings according to both match context and opposition strategy. England's coaching staff recognized early that Crawley offered more than just runs. He represented a strategic advantage, a batter capable of changing the course of a match by taking calculated initiative. His presence in the lineup provides confidence not only in terms of scoring, but also in setting the psychological tone of a game. Bowlers are forced to respect him early, and his ability to switch gears seamlessly allows England to apply pressure strategically throughout an innings. Crawley embodies a modern approach to Test cricket, one that blends traditional techniques with contemporary intent. His ability to balance defense and aggression, patience and initiative has positioned him as a critical figure in shaping England's long-form strategy. In many ways, he's not just playing the game, he is signaling how the future of Test cricket will be played, where mindset and execution are inseparable, and where confidence can reshape entire matches. Zak Crawley's unusual behavior at the crease became apparent early in his Test career. Unlike many batsmen who either wait for the ball to come to them or carefully build innings through cautious accumulation, Crawley approaches each session with a proactive mindset. He treats every over, every delivery as an opportunity to shape the game rather than simply survive it. This approach stands out because it blends patience with aggression, allowing him to dictate tempo without overexposing himself to risk. What makes Crawley's behavior unusual is his ability to balance instinct with calculation. Against fast bowlers on lively pitches, he displays solid technique and footwork. Against spinners, he reads variations quickly, selecting moments to attack with precision. Yet at every stage, he maintains his natural rhythm, refusing to defer intent for fear of failure. This unwavering commitment to shaping play rather than reacting to it is what differentiates him from typical young batsmen in international cricket. Opposition teams initially struggled to adjust. Bowlers aimed to exploit perceived impatience. Field placements were adapted to curb his scoring areas, and strategies focused on inducing errors. Yet Crawley adapted seamlessly. He did not become defensive or tentative. He found gaps, rotated strike intelligently, and capitalized on any lapse in discipline. Even in challenging situations, he maintained the psychological advantage, subtly forcing opponents to respect his intent. Crawley's unusual approach also had a ripple effect on England's innings. Teammates gained confidence knowing that one pillar of the batting order could take the initiative, absorb pressure, and set a platform for the rest of the lineup. His behavior revealed a new dimension of Test batting. A player could combine traditional patience with proactive, deliberate aggression, redefining how matches could be controlled from start to finish. As Zak Crawley's approach matured, analysts, coaches, and opposition teams struggled to fully comprehend his method. They wondered how a young batter could maintain such composure while simultaneously exerting control over high-pressure test situations. Early dismissals were sometimes met with skepticism, yet each failure revealed little about a flaw and more about Crawley's willingness to challenge traditional approaches. Every attempt to decode him highlighted that his style was not conventional. It was innovative, blending technique, awareness, and intent in ways rarely seen in modern Test cricket. Opposition strategies evolved constantly in response to Crawley's presence. Bowlers tried to exploit perceived weaknesses by targeting specific lines or lengths, while fielding positions were shifted to cut off scoring options. Despite these efforts, Crawley's awareness and adaptability allowed him to neutralize most adjustments. He read bowler cues, adjusted timing, and attacked only when opportunity aligned with strategy. This interplay of instinct and calculation made him unpredictable yet controlled, a combination that frustrated opponents and puzzled analysts alike. Within England's camp, teammates observed his approach with admiration and curiosity. Crawley's focus on dictating tempo early in innings created psychological advantages, reducing pressure on others while forcing opposition teams to reassess plans. Coaches recognized that his method went beyond personal scoring. It shaped entire innings and influenced match dynamics. Attempts to understand Crawley highlighted a critical truth. His approach was not a flaw to be corrected, but a paradigm to be studied. By combining calculated aggression with classical technique and mental resilience, he created a blueprint for modern Test batting, proving that initiative and clarity of intent can redefine the game. Despite all attempts to analyze and predict Zak Crawley's performance, one thing remained consistent: his unwavering commitment to controlling the innings from the start. This fixation on proactive engagement became the suspenseful problem point of his career. The balance between risk and reward was delicate. Any lapse in concentration could lead to early dismissals, but Crawley's repeated successes demonstrated that his approach was not reckless, but deliberate and disciplined. What made this fixation suspenseful was the pressure it created for everyone involved. Bowlers and captains had to anticipate his moves while managing their own strategies. A misstep from Crawley could swing momentum to the opposition, yet his ability to maintain clarity under pressure made him a formidable presence. He did not react passively to conditions. He imposed intent, dictating the flow of play before bowlers could adjust. Opposition teams tried every tactic to break him early. Short balls, slower deliveries, and changing field placements were all tested, but Crawley's adaptability neutralized most strategies. His fixation on controlling early sessions created consistent advantages for England, allowing middle-order batters to play with confidence. This suspenseful fixation illustrates a broader truth. Success in modern Test cricket relies not only on technique, but on mindset. Crawley's insistence on proactive engagement forced teams to rethink traditional approaches, proving that calculated initiative can determine match dynamics long before the final session. The first clear clue that Zak Crawley was more than a talented young batsman emerged in subtle but telling patterns. It was not a single big score that revealed his influence, but the consistent control he exerted during the early sessions of a test innings. Bowlers found themselves under pressure almost immediately, forced to adapt lengths, lines, and strategies before the match could settle. Field placements were constantly adjusted, yet Crawley's awareness and shot selection often rendered these changes ineffective. Within the England team, the impact was equally evident. His ability to take the initiative allowed middle-order batters to play without fear, knowing that Crawley's presence had already shifted the psychological and tactical balance. Even in instances where he fell cheaply, the advantage he created remained, shaping the course of the innings. Analysts reviewing footage noticed that Crawley's approach was deliberate, not instinctive. Each shot, each rotation of the strike, and each acceleration of scoring was informed by preparation, understanding of the bowler, and awareness of fielding positions. This structured intent made him a unique asset, one capable of redefining innings through proactive control rather than merely responding to circumstances. The first clue was undeniable. Crawley's batting was a blueprint for the future of Test cricket. By asserting dominance early and maintaining clarity of intent, he demonstrated that initiative, timing, and calculated aggression could reshape entire matches. The big reveal of Zak Crawley's approach became evident as patterns emerged across multiple matches. He was not just scoring runs, he was shaping the game from the outset. England's innings were no longer passive undertakings of survival. They became proactive assertions of control, with Crawley dictating tempo, forcing bowlers into early errors, and creating opportunities for the team. His impact extended beyond personal statistics. It altered the psychology of opposition teams, disrupting plans before they could take effect. Data and match analysis reinforced the observation. England's probability of success increased whenever Crawley set the tone early. Even when he was dismissed, the advantage had often been established, leaving bowlers unsettled and fielding plans compromised. His method transformed the first session of a test innings into a strategic weapon, blending classical technique with modern intent. The reveal also highlighted a shift in England's approach to Test cricket. Crawley's insistence on proactive engagement demonstrated that dominance could be established without abandoning fundamentals. By controlling pace, timing, and scoring opportunities from the first session, he created a new template for Test batting. Ultimately, the big reveal was clear. Zak Crawley is not just a batter for the present, he embodies the future of Test cricket. His combination of discipline, awareness, and proactive intent proves that initiative, when executed intelligently, can shape matches and redefine how England approaches the longest format. Zak Crawley's journey illustrates that the future of Test cricket relies on proactive intent, mental clarity, and calculated aggression. By taking control from the very first session, he demonstrates that success is not just about surviving challenging conditions, but about shaping the game to one's advantage. His fearless yet measured approach forces opponents to react, creating psychological and tactical advantages that extend beyond personal performance. Crawley's story also emphasizes the importance of preparation and awareness. Each shot, each decision, and each phase of the innings is executed with intent, showing that instinct alone cannot replace discipline. England's team benefits from his approach, as it sets a foundation for others to build upon, reinforcing confidence and strategic coherence across the lineup. Beyond cricket, Crawley's example offers a universal lesson. Taking initiative and committing to deliberate action can redefine outcomes. By combining skill with strategy, patience with calculated aggression, and awareness with execution, Crawley has established a new model for test batting. The future of the game is not just about endurance, it is about shaping play with clarity, courage, and purpose from the very first ball.